Blessed afternoon, collective. I don't know why I did two hands for that one. Guess this is a special magic show. I just felt like pulling on the energy today because, I don't know, I fucking feel like it, that's why, so I'm gonna do it. It's just about flowing with the energy. Whatever feels right is what I do. And for some reason, there feels like a desire to pull two separate decks, one for the divine feminine and one for the divine masculine. Call it whatever you want. I want to do a poll on each side of this polarity, essentially, this energy. And this is the feminine deck, which at the bottom has the Hanged Man. It's not stuck though, it's just kind of sitting back. It's keeping cool, man. It's wide awake, but there's no urgency here. There's awareness. There's observation. There's paying attention. What's underneath that? That's a new perspective. That is a new perspective. Also, it feels like this is masculine energy leaking over. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of that here. Don't lie. I'm not making it up. That's what it feels like. It's a new perspective on disappointments in general. Yeah, a new perspective on this connection, everything that it's taught us, the divine feminine. An awareness of how much the energy, the divine feminine energy, has grown. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so saying that the masculine energy was leaking over, it is the King of Wands underneath that Seven of Wands. Just observing all of this, seeing how defensive somebody can be to feeling emotion, how afraid the world is of being vulnerable, so much of society, and in this case individual people, but just that gives you a whole new perspective on, gosh, I don't ever want to be like that. Not even the judgment of that's bad or good, just I don't want to be like that. That is miserable. That's a lonely, disappointing, sad feeling existence, to be so afraid, to be so wrapped up in what other people think that you just don't even live. You're not even living. You're just tightly coiled in resistance this whole time. Just, yeah, absolutely shows with clarity a behavior that we no longer wish to participate in, a way of living, because this is all about the growth of the feminine. It's all about feminine rising. And a big lesson for the feminine has been valuing herself, understanding the worth of that energy, but also realizing why this out of balance ego, which ego exists, of course, in all of us, why it's not a way to live, why it's not fun, and really enables one to experience empathy for people who do live like this, empathy for the Burger King, realizing how absolutely terrified of existence that energy is. It's just scared. It's just a frightened little child inside, to push away everything wonderful, the potential of wonderful things, and to just live closed off. There's powerful transformation for the feminine in this. Again, growing, skyrocketing, what's on top, the Lovers, yeah. Growing the energy, learning to view the world, feel the world as safe, union with the self, again, being your own divine counterpart. It's all the same self, ultimately. There are no other people. There is only presence, the presence that I am. This is the presence that we share. We are one self. finding that union, raising the vibration, and simultaneously opening the floodgates of everything else. Allowing, being intentionally vulnerable, inviting in these positive experiences, knowing that everything is to your benefit. When the heart is guarded at all, it keeps out everything. That's how the barrier works. You have to be open, flowing, vulnerable to allow everything that you are worthy of and deserving of and desire at the soul level to flow in. Feminine energy is learning this by way of watching as well, and the deck split in two places that I want to see: Page of Cups and the Three of Pentacles. And it's multiple levels. On one side it is the masculine. This is a part of their lesson, and the universe is reinforcing, yes, the emperor desires the empress terribly, madly, truly, deeply. But it's also having that desire within yourself, falling in love with yourself, working with yourself, being your own best friend, your own lover, your own companion, all of these things. So I want one card to start and a bottom card crossing for just tell me about the feminine energy right now. What's going on with the feminine energy? Sitting back, seeing how much we make a big deal of insignificant things, that everything is insignificant. It's don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff, right? Everything, I got every little thing is gonna be all right. Plan, yep, oh, that was quick. Came straight back. The Lovers, that feels good. That's balance. What is that crossing? The Hanged Man. Okay, things didn't move. Yeah, which is just the stability of this energy, of your good, this trajectory, this space right here is exactly where you want to be. It's exactly where you need to be. What's under the Lovers? What's fueling the Lovers? Justice, balance. 3 major arcana, powerful major arcana. Yeah, that's just, you're good. The divine feminine energy can just chill, just cruising altitude. Yeah. And knowing, understanding that when there are little bumps and this and that, that's fine. You just flow with it. You let the energy flow, you let it do what it does. You're not concerned about anything. Yeah. Divine masculine at the bottom is the Hermit. Old soul, trying to wake up, trying to have these revelations. I like that one. Yeah, because it's flowing. Oh, there's a lot of emotion here. I mean, the soul is awake. But why is there a but? Yeah, because it's the King of Cups. There's still this, a big part of the lesson for the masculine energy is learning that their concept of love, of emotion, is backwards. It's practical. This is a card of Virgo, a very practical energy. And I mean practical in the incorrect way that we tend to use it in modern vernacular. Logical, economical, that's better. They view love as a sort of transaction, as an economical practice. If it doesn't make sense to the mind, if it doesn't make sense on paper, if it doesn't look good, if the numbers don't look good, then they don't understand it. And the emotion, the soul level emotion that these connections have created is terribly confusing. They've never had to give the full cup before. They've always gotten by and receive as well. They've never received a full cup. It feels overwhelming. And there's the understanding that means reciprocating in the same capacity. And they don't understand that either. There's just the inclination to freeze, to cling. What's under that? Justice. Wow. It's trying to come to balance. You're gonna have to give that. You're gonna have to be vulnerable. That is the lesson. This king's gotta move. He's getting thirsty, realizing that cups belong in the soul. Cups are the thing that we truly need to survive. They are the only thing that we actually truly need, because it is the stuff of the soul. It doesn't matter how many things you have, how highfalutin you are a member of society, how many fucking Maseratis or mansions around the world, how many concubines and however many countries. None of that is satisfying. And none of it is balanced, furthermore. It's wickedly out of balance, and it's time for this karma to end, for this to come to balance. It's not the next card, but it wants to show itself. Is the Nine of Swords. It's an end. It's time for this to end, because, well, this is the result of trying to defy Lady Justice, essentially. I mean, it's Justice crossing the King of Cups. Yeah, what's underneath that? You can't make this shit up. It's the Page of Swords crossed by the Divine Masculine, the out of balance Emperor, who's been sitting on their hands doing nothing, and they're very disappointed about it, yes. And so is the universe. Again, not in a judgmental way of bad or wrong. Those things don't exist. The universe does not perceive anything that way. The highest self does not perceive anything that way. It perceives out of balance. It perceives that these souls desired to close out this karma now. This was their time that they chose to finish these cycles, to bring things to balance, and they're resisting their own chosen path. And there is a profound level of sort of frustration and disappointment. There's a lot of frustration here in that. But it's just, yeah, it's time. Just, they know, the energy knows exactly what it needs to do. There's that Page of Cups that was in the middle of the feminine deck. They know exactly what they want to do. They're afraid of looking stupid. They're afraid somebody's going to see them in their pink tights and their cute little blue tutu and, you know, make fun of them. They need to understand that that's not their business. It doesn't matter. That's somebody else's problem. If somebody's got a problem with you, that's their problem. It has nothing to do with you. Literally nothing. It's time to let go of what other people think completely. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It's time to let that go and follow the heart, follow the calling of the soul, to be vulnerable, to express this love. This deck wanted to split too. On the Four of Cups. Yeah. Disappointed that because of the fear of being rejected, the fear of what somebody else would think, of what society would think, their family, whatever, whoever, the third party energy, that they didn't want to disapprove of them. That caused them to reject this cup. It can be internal too. I mean, that is what the fear of other people thinking thoughts about you is. It's internal. And it caused them to reject themselves, essentially, because that is how it works. You are rejecting yourself. Making fun of another person, ridiculing them, looking down upon them, all of those things, that's you. That's you you're talking to. That's you you're thinking about. There is only one self. There are no other people. Whether or not that is sinking in at a higher level, it is coming to clarity and awareness that they've only hurt themselves from this behavior. That's the net result of it. Not safety, not happiness, just pain for themselves. One card and a bottom card for the masculine energy. And a lot of that pain is bleeding over because the feminine can sense it. Intrinsically, that is a part of the feminine energy. It's intuitive. It's highly intuitive. It is highly feeling. Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna finish what I'm saying. Yeah, the feminine is deeply connected and trusts her intuition and has been growing her sensitivity, her vibration. And then on top of that, the intensity of these specific connections means we feel a lot of what the masculine energy is feeling. Which, speaking of, it's gotta go right now. It's the Eight of Wands crossed by the Two of Pentacles. This is a whirlwind. It's swirling, just a tornado of thought. I know there's not swords here, but it's, I mean, just debating this. That Eight of Wands wants to go. It wants to go a specific direction, and it's being swirled around, and it's having a centrifuge kind of effect of things are getting pushed back. The gravity is intensifying because of how fast these pentacles are spinning, and one of them is heavier than the other. One of them is heavier, and so it's not a balanced centrifuge. It's going like this, and it's very uncomfortable. Yeah, I guess it's time to jump. It's time for that one to break free. For that heavier pentacle, that Ace of Pentacles in here, the clear, obvious option is to leap, is to go with the flow of the energy, which is exactly what the feminine is learning and understanding. This is what you do. You flow with the energy. Little bit of clarification, because why not? I'm going to leave the Lovers crossing the Hanged Man here. And yeah, tell me about this Hanged Man. Tell me what that's about. Why is the Hanged Man here? It's crossed by the Lovers, but why is it here? I'm also feeling that it implies a genuine spiritual journey, as one might say, a dark night of the soul, which is a part of ego dissolution and sublimation. Yeah, exactly that. Learning that fear doesn't keep us safe. Fear wants us to make these short-sighted decisions. It would keep us small. It would have us sell ourselves short. It's the realization that fear is not a reason to do anything or not do anything, but fear should never rule a single aspect of our existence. And seeing directly a case study in observation of the masculine energy of why that is, of how small and afraid and diminished that kind of thinking makes you. What's on top? 10 Pentacles, a whole new world. It's sitting pretty again. This perspective, this actual conscious awareness that everything is to your benefit. Absolutely everything, including all of the shitstorm that this soulmate cycle and connection has been. It's all been for the greater good. It is all growing the feminine energy, growing your energy, because don't think there are any divine masculines watching this. I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong. And please let me know if you are one who identifies as a divine masculine. Welcome. Thank you. But it's the feminine energy rising. That's also what this is about with Earth's ascension, and it applies to every one of us at every level. Again, we all have masculine and feminine energy, but yeah, it's a whole new world. I want to see what is underneath the Five of Swords. It's judgment, cutting straight through this, seeing through this behavior is done. It's a whole new world. We're rising above that now. We're subliming the ego. We're witnessing the fear as it happens and going, oh, I know what that is. It's just ego. It's just programming. It's not me. And I am able to choose for myself the response that I desire, that I feel around and underneath the fear. The fear is just this surface level illusion. That's it. It just sits on top because that's what ego tries to do. It tries to perceive everything as a threat and go, no, 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 no. You don't want to do that. It's okay, ego. I understand. I know you're doing what you're programmed to do. But we're past that now. We're not running from tigers and having instinct train us that walking off the cliff is not a good idea. We're actually consciously awake. We're able to choose for ourselves. We're able to perceive the dimension of presence that is above, beyond, transcends all of this. We're able to receive the guidance of the soul, which is in emotion and feeling and received thoughts, received inspired action. We don't have to listen to this anymore. It's a whole new world. Look at that Two of Pentacles. Wow. It's more than one thing. It is a little bit of just that balance again of understanding. You go with the gut feeling. You know, the Empress, the divine feminine, trusts her energy. She knows which one of these is the heavier pentacle, which one is the way to go, because she perceives all things as to her benefit. She just trusts intuition and follows it. At the same time, this is the bleed over of the masculine energy that is creating a sense of friction because we can sense the frustration in the atmosphere, in the environmental energy, and in the masculine collective. And yeah, one more. Yeah, there's that Three of Wands that was in the pre-shuffle over here. For the feminine, it's lit. The flux capacitor is lit. We're ready to go. We're cruising. We're at cruising altitude. At the same time, this is the spying. This is the influence, the effect of feeling that masculine energy hyper-focused, laser-focused on the feminine, knowing that they have to make some kind of decision. And yeah. So there's a lot of bleed over. The focus of the feminine is on forward motion, is on just floating on down this river, flowing with the energy, letting it take us. The focus of the masculine is on the feminine. And the fact that they know they're going to have to make a decision and they can't do it short-sighted. They're going to have to open up. And underneath judgment, just, wow, repeating this exact message. They're going to have to open up. They're going to have to be vulnerable towards who? The Empress. And to reiterate that this is, in fact, the masculine energy. There's that Page of Swords and the Chariot, driven by the Emperor, also a card of the soulmate cycle. The Page of Swords sitting on top of the Emperor in the masculine deck. In fact, I think it's still here. Oh no, I shuffled it away. My bad. Well, yeah, that's exactly it. Okay. Clarifying a little bit for the masculine energy. Why is this Eight of Swords here? Eight of Swords. It's an Eight of Wands. I looked right at it. That's important. because they're overthinking this, because that's how they feel. They're absolutely trapped, and without thinking, I put the other cards back, but I left the Empress out for some reason. Yeah, and there's the Chariot again at the bottom. They know they gotta move, and they're going a little nutso over it. They're fighting the flow. They're trying to rationalize any way out of this that they can. And the brain will do that. It will give you 1,000,001 reasons not to do something. Logical ones, too. Again, ones that sound good on paper. Oh, the numbers all add up. But none of them are convincing. They feel terrible. They can't deny how bad it feels not to be vulnerable. How disappointing it is. It's, again, the same sensation of when I didn't get to tell that girl, whatever, ask her for coffee. That was disappointing. That hurt. That didn't feel good. That felt way worse than asking and having her say no. Genuinely, it did. I feel so much better now. Relieved, free, exposed, because I expressed the truth. I shared a cup. I flowed with my own energy instead of trying to repress it, instead of trying to fight that current out of a fear of, God, what somebody else could think. I just let it flow, and the outcome didn't matter. It mattered that I expressed myself. It mattered that I moved with my own energy. The masculine has to learn this lesson. They're fighting their own energy. Queen of freaking Wands. I couldn't have put it better myself. Thank you. They're trying to pretend this isn't a big deal when it's the only deal. It's the biggest deal. It's wickedly attractive also. This Empress is hot, on fire, flaming. I mean, it's 8 wands of passion. But they're still, yeah, this is why it's so frustrating and why the energy is heating up and there's so much friction, because they're fighting it. They're fighting it. I don't know why I want to know what's underneath the High Priestess. Fighting feeling. Trying to push it down, and it's not working. They know. The soul is awake. It knows what it wants. It knows exactly where it wants to go. And it knows it feels good over there. Oh my God, it feels so warm, so delicious, so balanced, so fresh and new. But they're gonna have to give to it on that level. They're gonna have to be that vulnerable. And the programmed response is closing up, trying to pretend that they don't want to do this, that they have a way out. There's no way out. What's on top? Because it's a soul contract, and they know it. The soul knows it, and that means it's not like a contract when you buy a car. These are contracts in the energetic sense, in that it was agreed upon. We both wanted this. This is mutually beneficial in the eyes of divine and ourselves. It's for the highest good, essentially. It's balanced. It's bringing energy to balance. It helps both of us finish out karmic cycles. We both learn lessons. Our souls grow. We expand. The universal being expands. It's good for everybody. That means it's the highest good. That's why it was agreed upon. That's why these are high-level soul contracts, and why the universe is pretty insistent that they're carried out. This is what the energy is flowing towards. 8 wands flowing into the 2 of cups. What's after that? The fighting it, the conflict. It's weak. Oh, it's paltry. It's like trying to fight a hurricane. It's like trying to wrestle an 800-pound gorilla. It's not going to stand much of a chance. It's just not. But they're still trying. They're still trying. They are still resisting it. Yeah. Again, the mind will come up with every excuse to stay hidden, to stay small. It's not working. The energy is too powerful. What's read with that? What did I just say? It's not working. The energy is too powerful. It's like trying to fight the wind, fight a force of nature. It's the fucking tower. It's the event that happens whether you want it to or not. It doesn't matter how much they reinforce this tower, how many layers of rebarred concrete and this and that. It doesn't matter that they built the 30-foot lightning rod on the top to try to keep this from happening. It doesn't matter. Nature's gonna take her course. Justice will be served. That's just what it is. It's coming down anyway because it was built on sand. It didn't even need a lightning bolt to strike it for this shit to fall down. It just needed a little while the universe is doing one better, because it was trying to blow gently and they kept doing this. No. Let me stick some sticks underneath this side of the tower. We'll prop it up. It's fine. It's totally fine. Okay, it's fine. Well, then we'll just blow the whole damn thing apart because it's so done. It is so time for this to end, for this cycle, for this fuckery to end. It's time for the Queen of Wands to get real. It's that get the fuck real energy again, and that's coming in. I mean, today is Mercury moving into Taurus, and then we have a full moon in Libra coming. A bunch of other things, the least of which, I mean, Saturn sextiling the North Node, and then that new moon in Aries. It's time to get real. It's time to face the music. Time to give that damn presentation. You're the last one. You're the last one, Divine Masculine. There is nobody else. Everybody else went. They're done. They've been graded already. They're ready to go home. We're all sitting here waiting on you. Get up there, give your speech. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens. You just flow with the energy. Oh. You flow with the energy. It's time for this to end. Is the next card out after the tower? It's time for this to end. These pentacles, I'm seeing a magnet. The universe has a magnet, and it doesn't matter how hard this guy is clinging to the pentacles. They're magnetic. They're getting ripped out of his hands. If he wants to hold on to them, okay, the arms are going too, then it's ripping the arms off with the pentacle. I mean, that's the intensity of this. It just doesn't matter. But a lot of this is, not a lot of it, some sense of this is bleeding over into the feminine as well, just the awareness of it. And it is driving home this understanding, this new perspective, realization of why it's so important to flow with the energy. Because it feels good, number one. Because this just sucks. This is not a way to live. It's not fun. It's not happy. It's exhausting to keep up this facade, to cling to those pentacles. Ugh. It's not the way the soul is meant to exist. And the feminine is learning that it's, you just take the ride, you go with the flow, you take the energy as it comes and you flow with it. You flow with yourself, you let it express fully whatever it is, surrendering all outcomes, allowing in that way all things to be to your benefit, perceiving, understanding there is no risk, there is no danger in all of the universe. It's all stable. It is all as all should be, always. And you are included in that, in the highest good. When you are playing into what the universe is perceiving and you yourself at the highest level as the highest good, that includes you. That's your highest good too. There's nobody left out. It's all inclusive. And the path of highest good not only is the best for you, it's the best feeling. That's how you follow it. You just flow with it. Even if sometimes that's a different emotion. Sometimes it's pain. Sometimes it's a feeling of sadness. That's okay. You let it flow. You let it express. You don't hold it in. You don't cling to it and pretend that everything is okay. You don't stuff anything down. You let it all flow. I could keep pulling these cards. Look at this. You let it all flow. You are vulnerable with yourself, with the universe. You allow the equal give and take. You allow the depth of emotions to well within you. You know how to fill your own cup, how to allow your cup to be filled by source, by the self. And you give the full cup. And furthermore, anything that doesn't reciprocate this behavior to you, anything that you witness and discern, again, it's not judgment as in terms of good or bad. Those things don't exist. It's the awareness of, oh, this is not balanced. And if it's not balanced, you walk away. You cut it loose and say, that's all right. I'm continuing my own path of emotional fulfillment, and everything that is not a match to that energy, I am easily able to discern and just as easily able to walk away from, to leave behind. Yeah, that's it. It's a little frustrating to be in this energy. I mean, to feel both sides. I can feel the frustration, and the universe itself is a little frustrated. Again, it's not like a person, but it's energy that is trying to come to balance, and it's being resisted, and the energetic result of that is friction. There's tension in the atmosphere of the universe, and that reads as frustration, as, come on, just let it go. Let go of the pentacle, take the cup, flow with it. Yeah, because it's moving one way or another. Final message from the universe, if there's anything else you'd want to say. Okay, that card flew out. Anything else you want to say? Stop shuffling. Well, that was fast. 10 cups at the bottom. What came out? The King of Wands reverse. Sort of. It's the way I turned it over, so I'm taking it. I feel like this is moving. What's the 10 cups crossing? Judgment. Okay, there's multiple layers here. You're good. The feminine is good. Daydream. Dream the dream. Let yourself envision your wildest fantasies and just hang out there, dwell there, live there. Yeah, you're good. On another level, the Burger King's getting flipped. I mean, the burger's getting flipped. It's time for that energy to let go. What's that read with? It's time for that energy to be vulnerable, to go all in, to stop with the short-cutting, the short-sightedness, the false victory. It's time for that to stop. I mean, it's judgment in the middle with as the overall energy. Again, it's a repeating message for the feminine too, that the ego is being sublimed. We are learning directly through observation of the self and observation of masculine energy. Without that, this doesn't do anything for anybody. It doesn't serve the self. It's a releasing of that. On the flip side, the masculine is learning this lesson, albeit in a different way. What's fueling that 10 of Cups, that 5 of Wands, that's the masculine side. And on top, the Hierophant. Daydream. Yeah, invite fantasy and wonder into your consciousness. release the specifics of what was thought to be desired and allow the general sensation of what is known to be deserved and ultimately fulfilling to flow in. The details will follow. They will fill themselves in. Just allow the daydream to take place from an emotional core, from the feeling of it. And don't sweat it. Don't worry, be happy. It is all good. Just flow with the energy. Yeah. I'm taking that advice. That's all I got. Feels about done. Resonates in all kinds of ways. I do intend that this resonates. I would love to know. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe, share your feelings, express yourself. That's the most important thing. Even if it's not here, even if it's not to me, that doesn't matter. Just express, flow with it. Do something that feels good to you. And yeah, that's it. Have a fantastic, beautiful, free-flowing afternoon. Always and always through every vector of time and space. I hope you know. I really do love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your witness, your presence. And you're on top of it. Just keep doing you. You got this. All right, that's it.